Miu Miu and I, we kind of started our relationship. This year they dressed me for the Oscars and the Vanity Fair, which is really cool. And we wanted to do something that hasn't been done a lot in tennis, which is having like a big name brand collab with New Balance. And obviously New Balance has had that relationship with Miu Miu with their sneakers. And I feel like tennis with the rise of it, and necessarily tennis fashion, I feel like I think we all felt like it was a very natural thing to do.
For years, sports fans scratched their heads, wondering why the biggest sports powerhouses prioritize their male athletes, staying unusually quiet about their brightest female stars. The lack of action was impossible to ignore. But today, New Balance didn't just issue a tribute to Coco Gauff, they delivered a marketing masterclass to the entire planet. And the biggest shockwave? It landed right on Aryna Sabalenka.
Coco Gauff is taking her career in a new direction, leaving Roger Federer's Team 8 and joining up with entertainment moguls WME. And she has launched Coco Gauff Enterprises.
Let's be real, this situation is far more than a flashy ad or a tribute banner slapped onto an arena wall. It runs much deeper than that. New Balance has finally dropped what many are calling a definitive tribute to Coco Gauff, and the entire world is shocked. The gesture is not a desperate attempt to recover lost ground. It is the harvest of a partnership that has been cultivated with intelligence and respect since day one.
So yeah, they're collaborating with New Balance to design my kits for Rome, Cincinnati, and Berlin. So I'm super excited for that. I feel like it's really cool. It's very Miu Miu. So I'm really excited in Rome.
New Balance did what many brands fail to do: recognize the full worth of a female athlete as a cultural icon, a role that Sabalenka simply cannot fill. What is the key to this success that manifests today in this viral tribute? And why does it leave Sabalenka humiliated? The humiliation stems from a simple, undeniable truth. While Sabalenka dominates the court with brute power, she remains a product of performance. Her value is measured in titles and high rankings. Coco Gauff, however, has transcended performance. She is a brand of influence. This distinction is what New Balance recognized years ago, and their massive new deal, the one that catapulted Gauff into the luxury market, serves as a brutal public reminder that cultural capital now outweighs mere athletic achievement in the endorsement game. For Sabalenka, whose intensity is her brand, the silence from the major fashion and lifestyle houses speaks volumes.
Actually, everyone around me was like on board with it, because like I know I could handle it. I think it was more just like on the mental side, like being there a lot of times, like mentally being on the site all the time can be like tiring. No, they were really encouraging because they knew it was something I wanted to do, and I was like, I mean, I'm young now, but I know eventually, I'm not going to be able to be playing doubles and singles and all of that. So I was like, I'm going to take advantage of it.
Let's take a step back. Coco Gauff, the rising superstar of women's tennis, is on an era-defining trajectory. She has propelled herself to unprecedented success, won a Grand Slam, and captivated fans with her electrifying talent and her voice. She's not just a player, she's a true game changer. Her first major appearance in the US Open final drew massive viewership, proving that women's tennis, with Coco Gauff at the center, is a global audience product. You'd think every brand, having invested heavily in her, would be front and center celebrating this, and in this case, you would be absolutely right. Unlike other sports giants that signed their stars and then went completely silent, no commercials, no merchandise ads, New Balance did the exact opposite. This is baffling when you think about it. New Balance signed one of the brightest stars in women's tennis, Coco Gauff, and has since built a brand empire around her. Contrast that with how other brands historically treated female legends. They received limited campaigns and scarce merchandise. With Gauff and New Balance, there are no crickets, there is selling success. This commitment did not go unnoticed. While other brands slept, New Balance saw an opening.
Just making unforced errors. Like, I don't know, I have to check the statistics. I think she won the match not because she played incredible, just because I made all of those mistakes from, like, if you look from the outside, kind of like from an easy.
So the extension with me kind of started in the whole campaign with the doubters. It obviously started with my speech at US Open where I mentioned, allowing doubters to fuel me to do better. And I kind of realized that a lot of things that are told to small business owners are also things that are told to athletes and me specifically, whereas like I've heard a lot that I'm too young, or that I should just focus on tennis, or that you shouldn't do multiple things at once.
They recognized what the old guard of marketing missed: the chance to make Gauff the definitive face of the sport, precisely because she refuses to be just an athlete. New Balance was not about to sit back and watch the competition fumble a golden opportunity. Rumors that other companies tried and failed to court Gauff away from New Balance only reinforced the success of this long-term partnership. And now, the latest tribute from New Balance is not just about celebrating Gauff's accomplishments. It is a declaration of dominance and a calculated business move that slighted Sabalenka's standing in the fashion and lifestyle world. The move that shocked the world was New Balance's collaboration with the luxury fashion house Miu Miu. This is not just a commercial or a banner. It is the recognition that Coco Gauff is a fashion icon and a cultural influencer on the same level as European luxury brands. This kind of deal, a true power play, is typically reserved for established cultural megastars. Sabalenka, despite her powerful game, has never reached this echelon of cross-cultural branding. The New Balance x Miu Miu collab, with Gauff at the center, is the perfect power move. It's an assertion that New Balance is backing the athlete who understands the intersectionality between elite sports, luxury fashion, and the voice of Generation Z. The gesture was impressive, but let's be honest, it wasn't just about celebrating her records. It was New Balance telling the world, we chose the athlete with the deepest cultural reach, not just the biggest serve. Their timing made it obvious. This is the culmination of a long-term strategy that placed marketability over temporary ranking. Facts about the Coco Gauff and New Balance partnership prove this. The youth bet. New Balance signed Gauff when she was only 14 years old, demonstrating belief in long-term potential, not just immediate performance. The signature shoe, CG1. New Balance launched the CG1, Gauff's signature shoe, at a very early stage in her career, a milestone reserved for very few. This immediately positioned her as a game-changing star in fashion and technology. The voice of activism, New Balance used the We Got Now campaign to amplify Coco's voice on social justice and politics, making her off-court bravery an integral part of the company's branding. The luxury collab, Miu Miu. Coco's involvement in the Miu Miu partnership elevates her status from athlete to global fashion superstar, which is above and beyond the reach of most sports sponsorships, and a type of deal Sabalenka's power-focused brand has never secured. Gauff did not accept this quietly. She seized the moment, speaking not only about her own journey, but about the growth of women's tennis as a whole, packed arenas, rising viewership, and fans finally investing in the sport in a major way. She emphasized the importance of global exposure and the long-term impact it would have on women's tennis. She made it clear, this isn't a fleeting trend. The sport is here to stay, and it needs platforms that reflect that reality. The CG1 signature shoe is more than merchandise. For an athlete, it is a statement. For Gauff, it symbolizes progress for women's tennis. When LeBron James got his first signature shoe, it was a game changer. It was Nike signaling to the world, this man is the future of basketball. Our company is built around him. Now, New Balance is delivering that same monumental message. Coco Gauff is the future queen. This isn't just about selling footwear, it's about establishing a dynasty. The CG1, designed with Gauff's input on everything from colorways to structure, isn't just a shoe for the court. It's a cultural artifact that belongs on the streets, in fashion blogs, and on the feet of millions of young people globally. This move shattered an outdated ceiling, proving that female tennis stars possess the same economic and cultural gravity as the biggest names in the NBA. The subsequent Miu Miu collaboration amplified this insult to rivals like Sabalenka. Miu Miu isn't interested in the raw mechanics of a 125 Mepi serve. They are interested in influence, style, and authentic voice. By choosing Gauff for this massive deal, New Balance essentially declared that the future of women's sports marketing belongs to the athlete who is ready to talk about climate change and social justice in the same breath as tennis. The timing is crucial. The New Balance tribute is not just about boosting her profile. It is about sending an indelible message that women's sports deserve the same investment, the same commitment, and the same global marketing resources as men's. This is the core of the Gauff revolution. The bigger picture is clear. Coco Gauff is showing the world that women's sports are a major market, with millions of fans ready to engage and, more importantly, ready to buy. New Balance didn't just see an opportunity, they recognized a movement. They understand that women's sports are rising like never before, with record viewership, skyrocketing engagement, and unprecedented interest from sponsors who seek authenticity. Gauff is not just a rising star, she is the face of a new era in tennis, one where excellence is rewarded equally. Coco Gauff is a trailblazer who influences the sport on and off the court. The battle between brands for her attention could redefine how female athletes are marketed and valued. For too long, women's sports have not received the attention they deserved, often treated as an afterthought in global marketing budgets. But with Coco Gauff at the center, the tide is turning. And it's turning because brands like New Balance are willing to put their money where the future is. New Balance's success in retaining Gauff is a victory for the sport. But it is bigger than one athlete. This case redefines the value of female athletes, forcing competitors like Nike, who sponsors Sabalenka, to reevaluate their entire strategy toward women's sports. For New Balance, it was undeniable that losing Gauff was not an option because she represents the gold standard of modern sports branding, a standard that Sabalenka's brand just failed to meet. The legacy of Coco Gauff Enterprises, CGE. Gauff positioned herself as a trailblazer by leaving Roger Federer's agency to launch her own company. She became the CEO of her own brand. She made it clear, her mission is not just personal success. She is advocating for more national TV exposure, greater fan engagement, and more investment in the sport as a whole. Her success is tied to the sport's success, and that is what makes her so influential. The proof of value in other sponsorships is undeniable, and each partnership is a calculated chess move in Gauff's strategic plan. Barilla built the Serving Love campaign around her diet, health, and community commitment, a lifestyle sponsorship that aligns perfectly with her image. Rolex, often the choice of athletes nearing the end of their storied careers, positioned Gauff as a symbol of legacy and timelessness before her prime, investing in her historical potential rather than just her current ranking. This long-view investment contrasts sharply with the often short-sighted deals offered to female athletes. Finally, UPS, United Parcel Service, launched an anime short film called Coco vs. Doubters, using Gauff's story to inspire young Generation Z entrepreneurs. This shows that her value transcends sports and luxury, reaching the world of business, motivation, and storytelling. These diverse, non-traditional sports endorsements prove that Gauff is not merely endorsing products, she is acting as a multifaceted media property. This diversified portfolio is the ultimate insurance policy, ensuring her brand value remains high even during lulls in performance, a stability few rivals can boast. The frustration of Sabalenka, who had to push her sponsor just to get one custom dress, is the key proof of this market shift. New Balance is rewarding Gauff's complete package: the activist, the fashion icon, and the champion. They understand that the conversation around Gauff goes far deeper than tennis, and that is where the real money is. The humiliation Sabalenka faces is not a personal attack from Gauff, but a consequence of the corporate philosophy that still prioritizes the male athlete blueprint. Consider the simple math. New Balance gives Coco 19 custom outfits and a signature shoe. Nike gives Sabalenka a different colored version of what everyone else wears. The disparity is staggering. This disparity is the core evidence that New Balance made the correct long-term choice, sacrificing the temporary prestige of the world #1 title for the permanent cultural capital of a global icon. Sabalenka's sponsors, like Nike, are now playing catch-up, desperately trying to figure out how to monetize personality and social justice in the same way they monetize dunks and home runs. The choice is simple for the big sports brands. Start treating your tennis stars like the global cultural icons they are, or watch them leave for brands that recognize their true worth. Because at the end of the day, athletes remember how they were treated. And loyalty only goes so far when you're the top player in the world, and your competitor is getting bespoke treatment from the fashion world. The future of tennis is being defined by contracts and collaborations, not just by Grand Slam victories. What do you think? Will New Balance continue leading the way alongside Gauff, solidifying its place as the champion of the female athlete? Or will the competition, including Sabalenka's current sponsors, finally wake up to the value of this new era of women's tennis and commit to the same level of investment? Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update on this story. The future of women's tennis is just getting started, and the brands are finally taking notice.